3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1054. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you'd like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. If you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So starting with interpreting the number 1054, well, before I do that, I do want to give acknowledgement to those of you who are feeling tired, exhausted. I wouldn't be surprised if I myself yawned at some point during this reading. If you are trying to work out your own sleep struggles and, working on trying to get more sleep, you're doing a really good thing for yourself, even if it's difficult. If you aren't already, I encourage you to explore different ways that can help you get in the right mood or mindset to help calm your mind and your body, to help you sleep. Sleep is so important, and there's something that I'm experiencing that is interesting, I'll say. So the night before, maybe I got like a handful of hours of sleep just because, just struggling to fall asleep. And the last night I got like 7 hours, so it was pretty good. But I felt more energized yesterday than I do today. And part of me is wondering, like, is my body just catching up? Because I've been struggling with sleep a little bit lately, a little more than usual. And I just want you to know that you're not alone. It's really hard, especially if you're like Gen Z or younger millennials who grew up with technology and a lot of distractions. You could also have something on your mind that really inspires you. You might be very much a daydreamer or a visionary. But it's important to find some way, somehow, to convince your mind when it's time to fall asleep. For me, I am personally trying to wake up and go to bed at the same time because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like if I do it long enough, my body will get used to it. It's almost like I'm resetting my internal clock, because when I was growing up, it was bad. I would, stay up until like 3 a.m., go to sleep, and then go to school, wake up to go to school a few hours later, and then I would come home, and I would sleep, and the cycle would repeat itself. So it very much does feel like I'm trying to reset my internal clock. Sleep is hard. Especially these days, it's hard when you have access to so much information. And, I do believe there is kind of a mass awakening happening globally as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if that was contributing to our restlessness. Maybe we all feel the potential of where we ourselves could go or who we could be, and we also feel collectively who we all could be together. what we could all do together. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty exciting to me. But let's move into interpreting the number 1054 now. The number 1 is about trusting yourself, listening to and really connecting with your intuition and your inner voice. It can also be related to taking ownership and control over your own decisions, making sure that how you choose to show up in the world through your choices, your voice, whatever, is about you, not somebody else. You know, not to impress or please anyone, I guess, but yourself. I don't know if impressing yourself is, something that you should be focused on, but you know what I'm saying. The number 0 can be about knowing when to put yourself first before any other relationship or situation in your life. If you do feel like you know when to put yourself first, this is confirmation of that, and you deserve to be celebrated for that, recognized for that, because it's not easy. Not in a world that guilt trips the heck out of you and treats you like a resource, property, instead of a human being with your own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Another way that the number 0 can be interpreted is like patterns or reoccurring themes. You could be seeing patterns or certain themes in the signs or messages that you are receiving, or that really resonate with you, and I think you should really pay attention to that. These patterns and these reoccurring themes could also be happening within you. Certain ways that you think, feel, and believe over and over again. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I think it's worth paying attention to all the same. And if it's a good thing, you do deserve to feel good about yourself for that. You deserve to celebrate your own strengths and to not be hard on yourself for your weaknesses. We all do. The number 5 is about change and transformation. This could be confirmation of a personal transformation or changes that you're making in your life, especially if they're positive ones. This could be confirmation for you to keep moving forward with those changes. And if they feel like negative changes, I encourage you to try to find deeper meaning in why they're happening. Or at the very least, just trust that they're happening for a reason. I lean more towards exploring what they mean, spiritually and practically. Because sometimes we don't know, and all we can do is just trust that it's happening for a reason. That it's something that the universe wants us to pay attention to notice. The last number, the number 4, is about stability, and it is connected to your ancestors. When it comes to creating more stability for yourself, psychologically, spiritually, physically, on every level, trust yourself. And if you're already making those changes, there's like I said, with the number 5, there's confirmation for those changes for you here to keep moving forward with them, because you deserve to have stability inside and out, because you deserve to feel safe and secure and at peace. Definitely. Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 4 is 10. There are 2 messages with the number 10. The number 10 itself is first a message about your spirit guides being present. I just saw this countdown on my camera at 10 seconds. And interestingly enough, I was going to mention that I saw the 10 seconds because it starts counting down once it hits like a minute left that I'm able to record, and then it will stop recording, and I'll have to start recording again. And I can only record 10 minutes at a time. So I do think strongly that your spirit guides, especially your ancestors, are present with you to help you trust yourself more, believe in yourself more, love and choose yourself more. They're really here to help you through these changes and to create more stability in your life and how you think, how you feel, and how you believe. The other interpretation from the number 10 comes from adding up 1 and 0, which is still 1. And that really just feels like confirmation of what we already talked about with the number 1 in 1054. I wanted to say 1056. Maybe that reading in the future could be significant for you. But since we just talked about the presence of spirit guides, especially ancestors, I do think that there is spiritual encouragement and support for you to trust yourself and your intuition, your own inner voice, your own inner compass, your own morals and values. I feel that your spirit guides want you to trust in your ability to navigate these changes, whether they are favorable or not. You are capable. Alright, so using these divination tools now, I suppose you could call them, I'm going to start with these playing cards here. I'm only going to draw out a couple of these cards, and then I will move on to these runes, which I clearly made myself. I will only get one of those, and then these are fortune slips that I saved from fortune cookies that you get whenever you get Chinese food. And I'll only get one of those as well. So let's go ahead and draw a couple of these playing cards and see what there really is to say about all of those messages that came through for the number 1054. Okay, I have the Six of Swords. It says holding on. In the reverse, it says moving on. What's standing out to me right now is the number 6. As I said, the number 1056 might be a significant reading for you. The number 6 is about a choice between self-love and self-destruction, and of course it's encouragement for you to choose self-love. It seems that you are resisting some sort of internal change, like changing the way that you think, how you feel, or what you believe to some degree. Maybe it's about yourself, other people, the world, life, spiritual things. There is something here that you are holding on to that is not healthy and really not fair to you. In the tarot, I think it's the traditional tarot, the Six of Swords upright, it has the interpretation of like moving into calmer waters, because it's a boat with, there's 6 swords on the boat. And I feel that something within you is holding you back from moving into more calmer waters, from having more peace, less conflict within yourself or somewhere in your reality. It really does give this feeling of being stubborn. And usually when we're stubborn, my understanding is because we want more answers from the universe. And I believe that you can find those answers. But I also remember what I said earlier about how sometimes you just have to trust that it happened for a reason. If it's something in the past, well, it had to be, I would think. Even if it's, just minutes ago. If it's something in the past that you're struggling to let go, move on from, find closure with, be patient with yourself. It might help to focus on being present, so that way whenever you slip into dwelling on the past, it's easier to identify and recognize and work through. There could be something here about your inner child as well. I just looked at the timer right exactly at 6 minutes. And as a child, you may not have been taught to love and protect and nurture yourself as you deserve to be treated by the adults in your life. You did deserve to be loved and protected and nurtured and supported as a child. You deserved to have a safe and secure environment. But what you don't deserve is to take that away from yourself as an older person, an adult, just because you can't change the past. You don't deserve to stay stuck in the past. I just looked down at the timer. I saw the number 654, a sign to trust everything happens for a reason. It feels like a reminder for me to talk about how the experiences that you go through as a child, in my opinion, are meant to be used to make positive impact in the world as an adult, or as someone who has more control and more power over themselves in their life. You could really do something really beautiful with what you're feeling, or you could do something really ugly. And it's not just for yourself, it's for those around you too. So, maybe it might be helpful to acknowledge that there is a choice that you need to make here. Moving forward in my life, is it going to be about self-love or self-hate? Is it going to be about showing more love to others or being hateful towards others? And the reason why I say that is because I believe that however we treat ourselves is how we treat other people. The standards that we set for ourselves are the standards that we set for other people. So moving forward, how do you want to treat yourself and others? What is fair? What do you deserve? Let's go ahead and get the next card. That makes sense. We have the Queen of Swords with the Queen of Spades. It says cold and bitter. It says mean as well. We have smart and funny and the other way around. I feel like that is your light. Whenever you're not feeling distracted by the pain, you are actually an intelligent and funny person. And I'm not saying that you should hide away your shadow, the coldness, the bitterness. In fact, I think you should face it. Understand it. I think what you might need to hear, or what you might appreciate hearing, is that how you feel is so valid. And I can't help but think about how not alone you are. For me personally, it's difficult to see people in a lot of pain, especially when they take it out on themselves. And the reason why it's difficult for me to see this is because I see somebody who was a child, who was not heard, not treated how they deserve to be treated. And I just wanted to share that for whatever it's worth. You deserve to acknowledge what you didn't deserve. So that way you can focus on, I want to say, changing the game for yourself. You do have the power to do that. Let's go ahead and get a rune for you. I am noticing that both of these cards are swords, so there's very much certain thoughts that are bringing you pain and discomfort. And it's important for you to address those thoughts. Maybe learn how to be more comfortable with them. Don't shut them out. Acknowledge them, respect them, so you can change them. So I have the rune called Berkana, associated with the letter B. It says birth, new beginnings, fertility, and true home. You have the power here to start something new, to renew the relationship with yourself. And I think yourself is who you really should be focused on right now. Of course, if you have kids, it's going to be a little bit different. But as much as you can, put yourself first. Even if it's, you're having to fight with your own shadow. Let's go ahead and get one of these fortune slips here. Okay. Now, it says, call a friend. Your voice will bring a smile. Feel that this is encouragement for you to reach out to somebody, to share how you feel. Even if it's someone that you know, someone that you don't know. There's a friend out there who cares about you and what you went through. And they want you to be heard, and they want to hear you. This feels like encouragement, as I said, to find somebody to connect with. So you can see how truly not alone you are, or at the very least, how loved you actually are. You really do deserve to see that and experience that more.